Alright, here I got my ECS magnetic drain plug. I got my ECS magnetic drain plug torqued, and now I'm taking this filter off. I just put the little adapter piece. Man, it's on there really tight. Torque spec for this is only 10 newton meters, but it's weird how they always end up getting on there so tight. This like barely wants to fit over. There we go. Hopefully there's not too much oil coming out of here. Nah, it's like pretty dry actually. Man, that oil's dark. It's like black. Man, that thing's gross. I'm gonna want to clean that out. Well, I don't know what that is in there, but it kind of looks like metal shavings, so that's a little bit scary. Looks like a little metal piece of metal right there. I don't know if that's even getting picked up on camera. Yeah, I don't know what that stuff is in the oil. Alright, so I got that pretty cleaned out, and now I can fill this guy with some oil. Alright, it's mostly filled up like 2/3 of the way, so I think that is good enough. Top it off with just a little bit more, just for some good measure. Alright, that's definitely plenty. It's actually probably too much, because the filter goes on at an angle. So when I turn that up at the angle, some might spill out. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that on and torque that down to its 10 newton meters. Also, I did install a new seal in there, a new O-ring or gasket, whatever you want to call it. Dude, 10 newton meters is freaking nothing. And mine had a little cover over this nipple, so I'm gonna go grab that off of my original engine. Here's the little cap that I was talking about. So it just kind of like pops into place on the back somewhere. All the way up there. Man, this might be impossible to do right now. I don't even know if you guys are gonna be able to see that. It's way up there. That actually wasn't too bad, because on the end of this there was like, if you rewind to the other clip, you can see that there's like a big part of the clip, like a big circle part of the clip, and then a smaller circle. So you can actually just reach this all the way up there without even like, you can just grab it from down here and just like reach the end all the way up there, slide the big end over, and just pull it tight so the little piece snaps into the knob. So it was actually pretty easy to install, thankfully. And that's just a little cap. So that's nice and snugged up now, that's good. All right, I'm gonna grab my vacuum so that I can vacuum out those AC lines. I'm probably gonna have to pop one off and vacuum that system out again anyway, but I wanna get as much moisture as I can get out of that. So here's my extremely cheap shop vac that really isn't even mine. And then yeah, I'm gonna grab my front end, which you can't even see because it's underneath all that plastic. And I'm gonna bring that out as well and try to get that thing on. While I'm moving around here, I'm gonna see if I can grab this front end. This front end is not easy to grab. It's like really heavy. And it's not in a good place because I have the bumper right here too. So I have to slide my bumper out of the way. Bring my bumper somewhere else right now. There, perfect. There it goes. Here's my front grille and my crash bar foam thing. That guy. Foam to keep the front end clean, so there's not a ton of dust and stuff on my radiator and intercooler. Alright, so I should be able to grab this. Definitely not going to be able to record this unless I had my GoPro with me. So I will see you guys over there. Alright, I was able to get my front end out here. It wasn't quite as heavy as I remember it being, but when I first took it out of the car, it had a ton of coolant in it, which obviously made it a lot heavier. So that's probably why I thought of it as being so heavy. But yeah, let me go grab all the bolts for that so I can get that bolted up. The main thing here is just these guys. There's there's 4 bolts on each side here, there, and they just made up to right there and there. I'm ready for the front end, as far as I know. I think when I took this off, I used these jack stands to kind of like hold that from falling, and I'm pretty sure I haven't used these since then, so they should be at the right height. So I don't really have them torqued down to spec, but I have those at least hit with my air gun. So I mean, that's decent for now. All right, so I'm gonna get the stuff on the bottom first. Doesn't want to reach all the way. All right, I got it. Just took a little bit of muscle. Figure it's just like all my other clamps. It's 11 millimeters, which means I don't have any ratcheting box wrenches, and I don't have a deep in that size either. So I'm stuck to just use a regular box wrench, but that's all right. So I just vacuumed out these two vacuum lines, that one right there and the one right on the other side. Right there, they're right next to each other. They both have a T45 bolt going through them. I vacuumed them out, I got them in place, and that closer one has a harness that I plugged in right there. So after I tighten these down, I can get this lower radiator hose into that spot, and then I can start running my intercooler piping up to the turbo, and then I should be good to go after that. Alright, so I just ran all of my charge piping, and I think that it's all looking good. I just need to check from above the car to see if that silicon charge pipe is fine, but the rest of this is fine. That was supplied in the kit. And this is for the new speed intercooler, so that, or sorry, the APR intercooler, that is fitting pretty damn well actually. Yeah, I just need to go above and make sure that this guy up here is sitting on the turbo nicely. And if it is, I can get all this bolted down. Yeah, it looks like that pipe is actually sitting pretty nicely on the compressor outlet right there. I just got all 4 clamps tightened down on the compressor outlet, then this one, then that one, and that one. So all of the boost hosing is now tight, which means I can finally move up to the top of the car and get some of the last little bits on. So I have my upper radiator hose right here that needs to go on. There might be some more harnesses that I'm missing, so I have to just do like a little quick visual check. Yeah, this guy's like the last main hose that I have to do, and then I should be able to finally fill it up with coolant and oil. So this guy is now on. I love that kind of clip. Like, so you just have to slide this metal pin thing out. It wraps around. It's like a horseshoe shape. And then once you get that out, that is what holds it in. So then you can just kind of like wiggle this off. It's really nice because then you don't have to worry about these things. I mean, these are annoying too when there's not a lot of room to work on them, but right here, I mean, it's great. There's these little harnesses that go up right here, up on the front. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but I am gonna plug it back in. There's one on each side. There's one over here too. See, there's the bolt that was holding it in. Here it is. See, I'm gonna put those back in place. I don't know what they do, but I assume they're important. So I now have my intake, my air intake clamped down on the turbo. I got the diverter valve hose clamped down right there. I got the MAF tightened down. I'm running a 3/8 hose out the back, out that back PCV port. That's for the fuel evap. This is obviously not permanent. I'm just kind of throwing this together just so I can start the car for now. So I'm just gonna route those fumes out the front of the car, just so it's not going right into the engine bay or right into the cabin. But yeah, obviously I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm doing about that. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for that return for the blow-by right here, because I don't want that going back into the intake and the turbo. Yeah, so I need to just hook that up and just do the same thing, just like dump it somewhere. Plug the broken sensor back in to the terminals. See how like the plastic piece broke off of here, so there's just like the 2 metal pieces sticking out. So that's just kind of plugged in, like it'll still function, but that needs to be addressed. And I have it like coming down over here. I mean, that might kind of work. I don't really know. Should give me enough room to put the battery tray. We'll see. Before I do that, I'm actually going to put a socket on the shifter cable bracket and just make sure that I tighten those down, because I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I thought I didn't tighten those down all the way. I was right, I did not. So I'm glad that I remembered that. So I'll get the tray in, then I'll get the actual battery in. Well, I somehow managed to lose one of these 10mm bolts. There's a third one that goes right there, and I lost it. So in the meantime, I can just install these two. Well, the days of holding my hood down with a tire are over, so I can finally put this hood latch back on. Trying my best to do this with one hand so I can show you guys how this works. It's kind of cool. Oh, yeah, so that cover comes off, And then there's a little ball in there, and you have to put that ball into this little carrier piece, and you have to get it in by getting that wire to go through this little slot. So it's actually a pretty cool little thing. You have to get that wire to slide through that slot, and the hood latch should finally work again. I'm actually kind of excited about this. I'm gonna close the hood and test it out, if I can ever get this piece on. Come on, motherfucker. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I'm literally gonna try that right now because I'm like excited about this. Whew. I mean, there's still no bumper or headlights, but it's nice to have that finally clicked down. Alright, so now I can inspect on the other side how much I bent that fender, because I was leaning on it on the other side when I was torquing something down, and I bent that corner in, and I tried to pull it back up, but I don't know how good of a job I did. Yeah, it's still all fucked up. Bending way down. Gonna have to like bend and pull that back up, or just get carbon fenders. I don't know. Alright, so let's pop that hood again. Make sure that works. Oh, it works. Alright, I think I have to stop recording so much because I think I'm about to run out of memory on this card that I just bought. Got the race battery installed. This thing is held up for the 2 years that I've had the car so far. So it's made it through 2 winters. This winter would be the 3rd winter, but I haven't been able to test it yet this winter because, you know, it's been holding strong since I've had the car. The previous owner bought it. I don't know how long he was running it, probably like 2 years. So going on 4 years in the Northeast, it's pretty good for a 6-pound battery. Now I got the rest of the battery, whatever you want to call it, installed. I'm not hooking up the battery right now because it's going to set off the alarm, and yeah, I just don't want that running right now. I don't want the fuel pump to prime. I don't want anything done. So I would try to start my car right now, but that neighbor went to sleep, that neighbor went to sleep, that neighbor went to sleep. I'm the only person awake right now, so I'm not going to start my open downpipe Golf R right now. Been working on this all day. I'm freezing. Look, everything is frozen. Everything is just like a block of ice. So I might just clean up and just wait until tomorrow to give it its first start. Before going to sleep, I actually decided to clean the mess that I had in here. It actually looks kind of worse now that I've taken everything out, but I already got rid of almost all the junk in here. Well, half of it so far. But yeah, it'd be nice to have this be clean again. I know my dad hates it, so I'm trying to do him a favor and get this cleaned up. Okay. So I finally got everything cleaned up. It's looking really good in here now. I'm all set for tomorrow. Got some stuff I forgot to put on, like these the axle heat shield, the passenger side axle, oil, coolant, wheels, windshield wiper fluid, headlights and stuff over there. What's up, guys? So I'm here on my lunch break. Yeah, I'm gonna get some oil in here, get the coolant in here, and at least crank it a few times. So to do that, I'm going to actually remove spark and remove fuel. So I'm going to have my coil packs disconnected, and I'm going to have my fuel pump disconnected as well on the low pressure side. It might actually already be disconnected. I'm not sure. Yeah. So my low pressure pump is already disconnected. So I won't have any fuel and I won't have any spark. So I'll just let it crank a few times to make sure there's no problems, and just let it get lubricated a little bit. Get some oil in here first. Grab these. I'll put 5 in right away. I really enjoy how you can just stick this right all the way in there and it'll just kind of hold it. I like that a lot. You can see the level falling down right there. Alright, so I got 5 in there so far. That's all I'm gonna do for now. But I do have another quart that I can add in later. So now I'll get a little bit of coolant in here, even though I really don't need to. Just mix 50-50 here of distilled water and the G12 or G13, whatever it is. So let's see if I can not spill this. So 50-50 split will freeze at around -32 Fahrenheit. Probably shouldn't have gone that high because I don't know how much further that's gonna burp down. Let's see if we're leaking anything. I think that's just where I missed. That cap needs to stay off so that can burp air bubbles out. I don't want this on here. And I don't want the bag on my exhaust pipes either, so I'm gonna grab that. And then, yeah, I can start trying to jump it. Well, not really start it, but start to get it cranking. There we go. Get this guy ready to go. Well, after a lot of searching, I finally found my jumper cables. Let's get these guys installed. Actually, let's connect this battery first. I have a feeling that this is going to honk at me. Did I really put that on backwards? Man, that's pretty bad. I was really tired though when I was doing this. All right, that's better. Let's get this guy on there. The battery's actually just so dead that it can't power anything. It can't even power the alarm. There it is. There we go. I'm about to run out of footage space in a second here. Sounding good so far. Cranking nice and easy, so I like that. Alright, well I'm gonna start the Acura and see if I can get this thing to fire up. Let me just crank it a few more times. Just try to get some oil going. Wow, I'm really low on gas, so that's not good either. So there's this weird noise. It sounds like coolant flushing around. I think it's at the radiator. But I was just cranking it some more and I got like a low oil pressure light or warning. I'm just gonna put a little bit more oil in, then I'll start it up. But in the meantime, yeah, I can put this guy in and then I can get my fuel pressure in. So I'm gonna plug that in back here and then I'll start it up. So I'm trying to conserve memory because I have like 1 minute left of recording. So, all right, I just put another like half quart in there. So now I'm gonna try starting her up. I'm nervous as f right now. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not even gonna think about it too much. Okay, let me just make sure that nothing happened there because I heard some weird noise. Okay, I'm gonna need to plug the other, I'm gonna have to start the Acura and plug that battery cable up again. So it wouldn't start, but we're thinking that it's because of my fuel tank being nearly empty. There's like pretty much no fuel in there, and even that's too much because my
to you when you post a video of you finally starting this thing up and it's yellow, people are gonna be like, oh, you're running the
I'm not gonna same thing as before. The car flashed with a new tune using the Eurodyne Maestro tool. Alright, here it is, and I literally have like 20 seconds left of recording time, so you probably won't be able to see like any of this.
It was running for a second.